Hey, Dr.
Hello.
Gomati, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, a bit feeble voice, but I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I'm actually traveling. Maybe issue is network.
Okay, no problem.
Hi,
Yeah.
Gomati. I can
Hi,
hear you very well.
Ravi. Yeah, yeah. So
Hi, Mayuri. Hi, Deepti. How are you today? Can you hear us? Deepti, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can. Are you still speaking, Deepti? Hi, Abhinav. How are you today?
Hey, hi Kumar.
Hey, Abhinav. How are you
Morning.
today?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good, good. Hi, Rajendra. Dr. Gomati, can you hear us?
Hi, Kumar.
yeah, yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yep.
So let me know when can we start. I'll be here.
I guess it's about 2 minutes to go. And
Okay.
yeah, I saw Deepti joining in, but I'm unsure where is she right now. I can't see Deepti right now.
Hi,
Hi,
Kumar.
Deepti.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Deepti.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
So it's 4. I think, Dr. Gomati, we can start.
Yes. Okay. Have you
Can you hear
seen the
me?
recording?
Hello?
We can
Yeah,
hear
we can
you.
hear you. We can hear you.
But I can't hear you. Let me.
You want just let me know
Mm,
once we are we to start and once you have speak
So
on the
you can hear
recording.
me, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yes.
Hi,
can hear you.
Deepti. We can
Yep.
Awesome.
hear you.
I can also hear you now. Good.
Great.
Awesome. So let me know when we are going to
Yeah,
start.
yeah,
So
yes. Dr. Gomati, we can get started. You are the,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Just share
sure, sure.
Deepti's profile and then we can get started. And I know you're traveling. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just start the session and hand it over. I think Deepti's profile I have to introduce or
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
already,
just,
like I have
yeah,
some introduction to.
yeah, yeah. Anything which is in gift.
and there is lot of
Yeah, okay.
background noise. Will that be muted?
Deepti,
Oh, from my side, you have.
Gomati is in traveling. That's why I think
Oh, okay, okay.
we just like take. I think we give her some minutes and then she will go away because she's
Sure,
traveling. I just want to
sure.
introduce her because she's the only speaker, female speaker. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sure, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Gomati, she has same profile as you. She is also data platform analytics. We can just
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, 1 minute. I'll just take her. I have prepared for the introduction part. So let me just. Can you share the LinkedIn, her LinkedIn profile as well? Sorry. Like, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, sure. Okay, let me just start. In every woman burns a flame of hope, resilience, and endless possibility. Today, we celebrate the light. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Women in Tech, where we come together to honor and celebrate the incredible strength, creativity, and determination of women. Today is not just about marking International Women's Day. It's about acknowledging the power of each woman brings to the tech world and beyond. The Delhi tech community has always been committed to fostering diversity and inclusion in technology. And today's event is a testament to the vision. We have an incredible lineup of speakers who will share their journeys, challenges, and their tech knowledge about each of their expertise. So we have Deepti, Srishti, Swati Priya, Anuradha, Megha Pandey, Diksha, Vijay, and Victoria, who will be the speakers of the today's session. So let me just introduce the first speaker, Deepthi Goguri. So Deepti is a Microsoft Data Platform MVP. She's a public speaker, and she'll be starting the first session of today's event. Hi Deepti, how are you?
Hello, Gomati. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well
Great.
too.
Yes, happy Women's Day, Deepti, and thank you
Hap-
for joining us today.
Happy International Women's Day. Thank you. It's 12 a.m. in the morning, so it's really great to to wish International Women's Day right at 12 a.m. in the morning. So good.
Thank you so much, Deepti. Yes, the dice is yours. You can start. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I can go ahead and share my screen now.
Yes.
Um, okay, let me know when I can go ahead and get started.
Yes, you can get started
You
now,
can. Yeah.
Deepti.
Sure. So welcome everyone. I'm so honored to be here actually, and um, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are joining from. And happy International Women's Day. I mean, there is a day specifically for the women, but I think like every day, not only women, but also it's a it's a great day every day, right? But it's good that we have a day celebrating, especially for women. So on this occasion, I would like to share a couple of very valuable um, very valuable insights that I have learned across the way since 5 years. I have started speaking since 5 years, so all the insights that I have gained and important information I have put together as a presentation, and I would like to share it today as a presentation here, empowering careers through mentoring and speaking. So, without any further ado, let's get started. A little bit about me. I'm a database administrator, also a data platform MVP, and um, also I usually organize couple of user groups and a couple of conferences, and I'm also a you know advisor for the diversity, equity, inclusion at the Professional Association of SQL Server Past Summit, which happens in United States every year. So I'm also grateful for that, and I do not want to go a lot about my talking about myself, but I also do blog in for dbnuggets.com. That's my website, and yeah. So if you would like to contact me later, or like if you would like to know a little bit more about this presentation, and if you couldn't ask me here, there is a LinkedIn QR code. You can scan on it right now, or you can just get connected with me so that like whenever I'm presenting next, I will be uh, publishing the news and like articles or like posts where I'm going to speak on new topics. You will be notified. So yeah, and also it will be an honor to get in touch with you. So I would like to start with a very good thing here. Um, Again, this is a beautiful presentation being presented on International Women's Day, but it do not think that is this is only for women. This is for every single person watching this video. It is applicable to each and every person who really wanted to go through speaking and like mentorship, those sort of things. So I would like to be very vulnerable here because without being vulnerable, meaning like without being open in sharing my story, I don't think this presentation will be a good thing, right? It won't complete. It don't have the completeness within it. So I would like to be very vulnerable because being vulnerable is a really good thing. I do believe in it. In the core level, I do believe that. So not only during this presentation, but usually in my life, I will be really open and sharing what I feel actually. So I would like to share my story. Do not be overwhelmed because I'll be very sincere in sharing my story because it's oceans and valleys and mountains and rock bottoms that I would like to discuss here. So a couple of years ago, I started speaking from about like 5 years, but before that 5 years, for about like 3 years or so, I faced a I faced harassment in my company, previous company, not the current one, to be open with you all. Um, so I have been harassed by two men. Doesn't matter if it is men or women, anybody can harass anybody, right? I don't want to create something like gender stereotypes or something like that, but yeah. So for like about 3 years, I have been struggling so hard because during that phase, I lost all of my self confidence. So I went rock bottom. I went into like I went into depression. I can say that not like a medical depression kind of thing, but I lost all the confidence. So if you ask me why you faced that problem, I can say that I was technically sound, where like I do not mind in sharing technical details as a DBA. I need to be there for a company where like if wrong decisions are made, I should be able to tell like, hey, that is not the way. Let's do this way. But not everybody will be open to take that message, right? They might be threatened by that. So that is what happened. And manager who harassed me he was not technically sound because he came from a different department which is not non-technical. So, and also he didn't hire me, somebody else hired me. So, all of that mixed up, I do not know. I do not want to know what was the intention, but what I faced was a really bad thing, an unfortunate thing. But today, when I look back, I think every single thing that happened made paved a pathway, actually, to be very sincere with you, to be at this stage, to share my story so that other people will know what things can happen and how to navigate those things, right? So while going through that phase, um, I so I was removed from all of the projects without my knowledge, and he told everybody in the company, especially in the IT department, to each person not to speak to me. So people stopped talking to me, and they didn't give me any work. If they need some DBA tasks, they need to go to the other DBA, but they never dared to come to me because they know that the problem will be resolved very quick. So if somebody dared to come to me to get a resolution, and if I started working on that case or like ticket or whatever it is, he used to pull them aside and say like, can you please ask her to stop doing the work so that I you can give the same work to the other DBA. So so that was going on, right? So people used to come and say, hey Deepti, I'm so sorry, but can you please stop doing the tasks because he didn't like you doing it. So it was that bad. So if you come into my shoes for a minute and see how that how that thing will look like if you are in that phase, right? It is not good, it is unfortunate. So many women face the same thing, especially Indian women. In that company, there were several Indian women. Every Indian woman, most of the Indian women faced the same thing from him. This kind of harassment, and they didn't want to cause any trouble for themselves, or they they just left the company with tears, right? But what I thought was I wanted to stop this somewhere. If I just leave the company, then this is going to continue. So I thought to be the voice of the other women. That's when I thought like I will stand up for myself so that I can stand up for others. So I just questioned what is the issue, but I never get an answer. Because I am a contractor and the person who harassed me was a full-time employee. So I stood up for myself, but nothing happened. So I thought like, okay. So when I asked him straightforward what was the issue, because if there is some issue, I'm ready to change, right? But I never received an answer because like there was never a proper reason. There is no such reason, like any reason in in this world that can give the ability or the access to the person to harass another person, right? So there shouldn't be any reason to harass any person, no matter what. But it is my stupidity to ask him like, why are you treating me this way? If you could tell me what was the issue, I could change myself if I'm doing something wrong. So I went to that level just to know what is going on, but I didn't receive any answer, right? So I thought like, okay, you pull me out of all these projects without my knowledge, and you try to stop my ability to share the knowledge within the company. What if I come outside, not leaving the company, because at that point I lost all the confidence. I was too scared to come out because I thought I will never get another job, right? I was too scared. So I thought like, okay, you are stopping me to share the information or like to share my knowledge within the company. So how about I stay in the same company, but at the same time start doing the work outside the company, and if I try to share my knowledge to the world, who is going to stop me, right? Within the company, he can stop me, of course. But outside the company, who can stop me? So that's when I got an idea of like, how about I build my own website, right? I create my own website called dbanuggets.com. I started sharing everything I know, right? Even to take that step, I had an ally. Um, Her name is Kathy Kellingberg. She is a Microsoft Data Platform MVP since years. Um, so she actually helped me to create my own website and tell me which platform I have to use and all of that. So I was like, she is my first ally, I can say, right? To build that website and all. I didn't stop there. So what I thought was like, there should be a way out for me. I can't sit there and struggle and be in that rock bottom, in that dark dungeon for my entire life. I need a way out. So what I did was like, just to come out of that phase, I thought like, what if I start speaking? I start sharing what I know. And I was like searching everywhere, how can I do that? And then suddenly on Twitter, at the time, I actually opened, and then Brent Ozar, if you know, he's a very big celebrity in the SQL Server world. He actually posted a Twitter post saying that, hey, if you wanted to speak, then there is something known as like New Stars of Data Conference, which was going to be inaugurated in couple of months, and they give the ability for the anybody who didn't speak before a platform to speak for the first time on any technical topic, especially the data platform topics. So I was like, oh, okay, this is something great, but because this is something I was looking for, right? Maybe some universe is trying to tell me something. Let me go ahead and submit the session, right? And I submitted a session related to internals and architecture of SQL Server, and I prayed not to get picked up because I was too scared. I do not know, if I get selected, how I should move forward from there, right? But the thing is, with new stores of data, they provide a mentor actually, so that they can work with you, they can sit with you, prepare the presentation, and then help you out, right? And also sit during your presentation actually. So you'll get that confidence while they are with you, right? So just give me a second, I'll drink some water. So that is the turning point of my life, I can say, because I was given a mentor. Her name is Deborah Melkin. She's another ally, I say, and she's a great mentor. She actually helped me put my presentation together, and that's how my journey started with New Stars of Data. So I put everything here, how it gets started with New Stars of Data Conference. If you can search on Google New Stars of Data Conference, you'll find all the details. If you didn't present it before, but if you're interested, I highly suggest you go and look for this conference. It happens couple of times every year, and you will get a mentor where you can prepare and then present, right? And the next one is, now you might have a question. You started with new stars of data, but what next, right? You did that presentation, but what next? So at the time, we have a PAS Professional Association of SQL Server user groups, but that has been converted and moved to Microsoft Azure user groups. And if you search in Google Microsoft Azure user groups, you will find the meetup groups where there is this meetup group known as Microsoft Azure user group. And underneath that umbrella, you have about like 200 user groups across the world, and most of them are doing the sessions virtually for free. So if you do not have a meetup account, type in meetup.com and open an account and search for Microsoft Azure user groups. If you search in Google, you'll find that, right? So I used to literally find the organizer name out of every single user. Out of all of these 200, I almost approach all the 200. So every single organizer, most of them responded to my emails saying that, hey, okay, so what was your interest? And I mentioned like, hey, I wanted to speak. I spoke for New Stars of Data, but I do not want to stop there. I wanted to do it more. And everybody gave me the opportunity. Nobody said no. And You might be asking a question, but why 200? Or why did you contact each and every organizer? You could just contact a couple of them and you should be good, right? But you need to observe from where I'm coming. I lost all the confidence and now I have to build the confidence bit by bit, like like giving life to a life, giving life to something which is dead inside, so I have to give that life. So I have to some way come out of that depression or like the dark phase of my life. And I choose speaking as a way out. That was my outlet to come out of it and to build the confidence bit by bit. But in the process, what happened was people started seeing my work and people started appreciating, and that's how my I gained back my confidence bit by bit. Even now, even after 5 years, the amount of um, uh, the amount of that effect didn't recover completely. I'm still in the process. I spoke for more than 400 to 500 sessions until now across the world, but still I'm still building it, right? So how speaking has actually helped me. Initially it was an escape. I do not mind in sharing that. Like, I do not feel guilty or I do not feel ashamed of sharing that. It was it was an escape from the phase that I was going through, right? Because I wanted to see some light. So that's it was an escape. But later it became part of my life. I'm very sincere on this because, like I mentioned, I'm still building that confidence back. I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm a normal 8 to 5 job holder, a women worker, right? An Indian woman. You know, this event is from India, so you know the Indian culture and all of that, right? So we are usually shy, right? To come out of that cocoon, to come out of that phase, it is really hard. So it became part of my life and I'm proud of it. So, how mentoring others helped me? Along the way, as I was building the confidence, I thought, like, I think there are other women who are facing the similar kind of situation, but they are not having the voice to come outside and share within the company or outside the company, or if I have to talk, even within her own family members. She couldn't share the thing that is going on with her, right? So what I thought was like, let me not only talk about the technical stuff, but also let me start speaking about the non-technical stuff, which is more important than technical stuff. Because from the place where I came, I thought like many women might be facing the same thing, right? Because while I was facing the harassment, other women, Indian women, were facing, but they don't want to, they don't want to tell to anybody. They just left with tears. So I thought like, no, that is not going to help anybody. So I thought like, why won't I start sharing my story so that other women can connect to that? Like, I just want to let them know that they are not alone. That was my intention. So I started speaking about what I faced and all the challenges any women can face, or men can face. It is not only um, for women, men can also face the harassment by women. So I'm not like I'm an advocate of mentorship and helping others, but I'm definitely not an advocate only for women, right? I'm underlying that I would like to help both men and women, regardless of the gender. And anybody, regardless of the gender, can be harassed, right? By anybody. So initially, it was a support for the other women, but later it became my responsibility. Now, why did I say that? Is because as I speak, I came to know that many women are going through the same thing after the presentation, after ending the presentation about women in technology, right? And what challenges women face. By the end of that presentation, each and every time, I was so moved, and I, I was by listening at the stories of other women approaching me, or the women or the women or men shedding tears while I was speaking. I was shocked. Like, I was so shocked, not knowing if my presentation itself is really bad or like, are they really connected? I was initially very much surprised to know the difference, right? But after the presentation, they used to come to me and they used to share, like, hey, I also faced the same thing, but I didn't have a voice. Thank you for being that voice because now I know I'm not alone. I didn't even share this story to my own husband because I thought he might think that I did something wrong. And that is the reason that they has um, shown me that harassment or whatever it is, right? The hard time, giving hard time. So men came to me and said like, hey, you know what, my daughter is facing the same thing and she was devastated and she went into depression, but now she I as a father, it is good to know that, in not in a great way, but it is good to know that she is not alone, she's not the only one facing that. But at the same time, it is so bad to know that it is not only happening to only my daughter, it is also happening to the other women. So I thought like, this is something bigger than what I thought. I thought to be a voice to the other women, sharing my story here and there if anybody is facing that. But as I share more, I am coming to know that there are more and more people going through this thing but couldn't share. So it became my responsibility to be their voice, right? So so I thought like not only speaking, how about I take this further and start mentorship, because while I was speaking, many women as well as men asked me if they could actually mentor me. So before even becoming a mentor, I was being mentored, right? Mentored by many people. If not one is to one, it was like a advice. Any person, any expert who had shared me a sincere advice, I consider that as a mentor, because any single advice can change your life dramatically. If you are making terrible mistakes and if you didn't even know that you were making a mistake and somebody pointing at you like, hey, that's not the way you are doing it, you are doing it wrong, and you might screw your entire life by doing that mistake, right? Because I'm a normal human being, I will make mistakes, right? Knowing, not knowing, I might make several mistakes, but knowing that there is another person caring for you, coming to a zone to tell you straightforward that you are doing something wrong and you need to change that, or that's not the way and there is another way you can do it. And I am so blessed to say that there are a couple of people who very sincerely shared that feedback with me, and that really helped me move forward in a positive way, right? It is a straightforward, um, uh, raw, without any filtered kind of feedback, which I really needed to hear even when I didn't want to hear, right? Because that's how we'll grow. So, and also and all of those people are from the SQL family members, as well as my friends, family, everybody will come to that. And also the user group leaders also gave the opportunity to share the feedback, right? So that is a kind of guidance that I got through the mentorship. So, how I took it further by mentoring the other men and women as well, and what you can do to enhance your skills if you would like to start speaking. Like, if you do not want to speak, or like if you do not want to mentor other or being mentored, please do not be do not feel guilty about it, because that's a choice and you might be taking that choice for a reason, and there is no need of feeling guilty. If you, like, by listening to this presentation, do not force yourself thinking that, oh my god, I think now I have to go ahead and speak, but I don't like speaking. I am kind of a person, I just want to listen to the conferences, learn the stuff, but I am not that kind of a person, right? If you are that way, please do not take that burden and feel guilty about it. It's absolutely perfect, and you are perfect just the way you are. Even without speaking or being mentored by other people or being a mentor to other person, you can still enhance your skills, right? You can continuously learn through the community engagement, like start building your profile, right? You just can't depend upon the company that you are working on, because tomorrow they can come and say like, hey, we need to lay off certain people and we are so sorry to tell you that you are one of them, right? Now, if you, I I- I mean, like, I'm not predicting something will happen, but we never know, right? The universe can bring anything to us, to our plate, and if we have to take it, we have to take it. There is nothing, there is no reason behind it specifically, like why you might get laid off, or like it can be general thing, like company might be having some problems and you might be affected without any reason. Not that you are not technically sound, but you have to face that situation, right? In that case, you do not want to panic. You do not want to come out and think, oh my God, now I have to find this job. I have to do the interview and then go through the pages and pages of like preparation and all of that. But how about you are being prepared all the time? All the time. No matter even if you're working right now in a company with a very good pace, and you know for sure that you are not going to lose your job, still working on this stuff, like continuously learning, and start building your profile. Start building your profile using LinkedIn. Use LinkedIn for your own advantage. Now, I highly suggest that because I started sharing my blog post on LinkedIn, and that gave me an attraction, and that gave me the audience to come and view my website. And that's a very good thing, right? Because tomorrow, if you're applying for an interview, you can go ahead and update your resume saying that, hey, I have my own website and this is my LinkedIn. Just go ahead and look at my LinkedIn. They'll go ahead and look at your LinkedIn and they'll see all these posts where you are sharing information. If you do not want to create your own website, do not feel guilty about it. There is nothing wrong in it. Just share it as a post on LinkedIn. That itself is enough. People will recognize, your circles will recognize, you will get lot and lot of likes, so that starting it will be a little bit slow pace, but later people will recognize what you're sharing. Anything little big, it doesn't have to be very technical. It can be a very small thing that you resolved, or like very small thing that you have read somewhere, or you learn something, right? Put it as a post, write it in your own words. It doesn't have to be your own, what do you say, like a scientist, you invented something. Come on, we are not scientists, right? We are just using the products, uh, like for example, Microsoft product, Power BI product. It's already been designed by Microsoft engineers. All you're doing is like you're learning the product and you're sharing what you can do with that product. Now you can share the same exact thing that 1,000 people already shared. There is nothing wrong in it, but still the audience might not have heard or read all of those other 1,000 voices, but they are in a pace of reading your voice, right? They might have love to hear from you. So how about you go ahead and do such kind of posts and build your profile for yourself, so that you do not have to depend upon a company. And when you come outside of the company, and or when you wanted to change a company, you will be ready at any point in time, not searching for an employer, but they coming and searching for you. Now, did you see the shift, right? People, like companies, want to hire you. It's not you are looking for a company to be hired. There is a difference between it. But to go to that phase, we need to put in some work, right? Continuously learn, share what you learn. If not blog post, just a simple post on LinkedIn will do the job. So, and also networking opportunities. How do you get those networking opportunities, right? I highlighted LinkedIn because I highly suggest it is really helpful to build your profile, make those connections. If people are sending you the request, this is not like your personal profile, right? Most of the people whom I am connected on LinkedIn, I don't know about them, but all I know is they are related to my field. That is all I know. So I am very free to accept LinkedIn requests, because I feel like it is a safe place. Not 100%. I also faced some situation on LinkedIn through messaging, all sort of that. Sometimes people sometimes people think like that is a kind of dating app or something like that. But those sort of things will also happen. But most of the time it is a positive space, right? So, building your profile using LinkedIn, attending in person and online conferences. Like I mentioned, if you are very much happy being an attendee and learning stuff, perfect. That is perfect. Do not even think about any other thing. Just go ahead and attend in person and online conferences. Now, attending in person will cost, right? You need to put, if your employer is not ready to pay, they can pay for one or two events. But if you go ahead and ask them like, every month I have an event, and I wanted to go, they won't be ready for that, because it will cost them more, right? So they have to also support other employees. Nothing bad about it, right? But if you are in a place where like I think I can't spend a lot of money to attend all these conferences, because one event is in Delhi, one event is in Hyderabad, and I have my personal obligations, I can't travel that a lot. If you think that way, do not worry. There are several online conferences. Like I mentioned, go and search for the meetup.com and go and search for those Azure user groups. You have about like 200, more than 200 user groups. Sign up for them. They are free. And then every week you have sessions going on, or every month. You can go ahead and start attending those, right? To gain the knowledge. And also have the coffee chat with the community members. Like if you meet a person and if you like them, like in the way like their knowledge and um, their presence is giving you the motivation of doing something better. How about having a coffee chat with them to take it further? Like, hey, I really like what you are doing, and you spoke at that event, right? I really like a point of what you mentioned. Like, just don't go ahead and keep on messaging people like, hey, I attended your session, I want a coffee chat. No, it won't work that way, because the other speaker might think it in a different way, right? Um, yeah, so just go ahead and ask them like, hey, I attended your session and this is the best thing that I have listened, and just um, present couple of things that they have mentioned and which inspired you. Maybe that way they will respond in the first place, and then you can go ahead and ask like, can we have a coffee chat, because I thought like this is really interested, and I wanted to learn more from you. And that's how you will build the relationships, right? A actual um, those are very valuable actually, to be very sincere with you. And you can also ask them like, I can how do I start doing this, the exact thing that you are doing, I'm so impressed by your work, and can I also do it? Like if I can do it, how do I do it? Like whom do I approach? Like can you show me a pathway, if you don't mind? And some people might be willing to share, some people might not be willing to share. If some people are not willing to share, do not take that burden of feeling guilty of you did something wrong in asking. Please do not do that. I did that before. But not everybody is open minded, right? So you are open minded and so you asked. But do not expect the other person also be open minded like you. So, but you will be like the people who are in this community, who are actually sharing all their knowledge, usually are open minded, because if they are not open minded, they would not share the information for free, right? So most of the people will respond positively. Try to ask them, and if you'd like to present and start speaking, ask them that. And also you can ask them, hey, can I collaborate with you, and can I also co-present with you in the future on certain topics? And then if they are willing, then um you can also work with them and start presenting. you know I'm talking about how to network here. And then help conferences. If there are online conferences, try to contact the organizers and say, hey, you are doing this online conference, right? Do you need any help? I am in this, I'm in this space where I use all these products. I am a programmer or I'm a DBA, and I would like to help the conference, right? It is like a volunteering work that you are doing, but you will be amazed to see how many people you will meet, and how much you learn while you are supporting those conferences. It can be either you will start selecting the presentations that the speaker submitted. um, i- like people will, like the organizers will allow you to do some stuff where you will be amazed, like, oh wow, I'm loving this. And maybe you can take that further and build your profile based upon that as well, right? So real stories are really important. Like, um, all the time we have books about how to become successful, how to become, how to hustle, do the stuff, and like, if you fall back, stand up and run again, and then celebrating the successes. But how about celebrating the worst situations in your life? Meaning, like, how about you start sharing those stories? Not only the success stories, but the struggles that you face behind that success. Not emphasizing more on the success part, but how about um, how about emphasizing more on the struggle part? Because that is the actual core real value. The value resides in those moments more than the success that you have faced, because success just comes one day, knocking your door and say, hey, I got this balloon for you, and you got this award, or like you got this, and then that's it, done. But what about the story behind that? What about all the tears? What about the late night work that you have been while everybody's sleeping, everybody's watching movies, and you are sitting in a corner in one room, and you reading books to understand, um, to present a presentation, or like you sitting all those thousands and thousands of hours that you are spending. How about talking about those? Because we want to be real, not like coming out as a successful person and like, and I'm an MVP. But what is an MVP? It's not a title. In my opinion, it's a story that you wanted to share to other people, right? So start sharing your story, be vulnerable. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, it's 12 o'clock in the morning here. Whatever I speak comes unfiltered, right? So start sharing your story, be vulnerable. um, do not be scared, or do not be scared to tell that you had a terrible background. Like, I was facing all these struggles, and now I wanted to share. And that way, you are giving the opportunity for the other person to come out of their cocoon and start sharing their story. You know what? I too faced that. And not only that, I also faced this. Everybody talks about success, but nobody knows the struggles behind it. Now let's talk about that, right? Let's celebrate failures instead of only it's celebrating the successes, right? So embrace each and every step and be open-minded, and let that will give the ability for the others to share their real stories as well, instead of just showing the best part of your success story. So, the actionable steps to each and every one of you here, if you are willing to start speaking, or to be engaged, or to collaborate and help other conferences, and be like sort of like building your own profile, what I suggest you as an actionable steps is reach out for the organizers. Like, if you see a post on LinkedIn saying that, hey, there is this conference, and like, these are our speakers, and we are doing this, go ahead and register for our conference. Now click on that profile, go ahead and connect to them, and then send them a message once you are connected. Hey, I know that you are presenting, you are organizing this conference in the next couple of months. Do you need any help? I would like to help. Because that way you will build your profile, and also you'll be in that zone of people who are willing to share the information for free and educate people. Who knows? It can take you places, right? Who knows? Just start with that first step. It can be the user groups as well, not only the conferences, right? My sincere advice is, it is a journey. This is a journey, and it can become lonely, right? Underline that. Now, there are 100% people out there, 99.999% people are in the safe zone. thinking that they are good in that safe zone. I do not complain on that. It is personal preference. If they are good and happy in that pace, that is what we need for a life. We live certain number of years and we die later, right? So if they are in happy in their own pace, that's absolutely awesome. But there are some people who really are struggling and who think that the pace they are in is not enough for them, and they wanted to do something more, but they do not certainly point out what they wanted to do more. Maybe this presentation will give you an idea of how they can actually take the steps further. But I have to tell you that once you are getting out of that comfort zone and once you are moving further and further out of that comfort zone, that journey can be lonely. You will become lonely because all the people who wanted to party stuff and like enjoy it, this path is pretty lonely because you need to go within yourself and like open the book, study, prepare for the presentations, and like um, prepare for the conferences. If you're organizing some conferences, you need to spend your own time to build that stuff, right? To build that stuff. So that can become lonely. You need to spend so much hours upon yourself building that, building your profile or building yourself, right? So being lonely doesn't mean that you are become lonely. You might be doing some great stuff, and that is a part of the process. Being lonely is a part of the process. So just think that it can be lonely. Well, it depends, because sometimes you need to face several struggles as well, because as you are moving in this path, as we are moving steps further, people can come and tell you like, hey, whatever you are doing is wrong, but then they can also share like, this is the way you have to do it. You see that when they pinpoint at you, showing the things that you do not want to see, you might be threatened. But then if you understand well, they are actually showing you a path that leads to a good path, right? So it's a part of the journey. It's a process, right? It is just the part of the process. So you need to find your tribe, meaning like, if you wanted to be in the zone, you need to come into that zone in the first place, right? So you can't just sit and say like, I am in my home, and I wanted to do all of this stuff without interacting. It won't work that way. You need to be in that same zone so that you will become one, right? So if you want to speak, be in between speakers. If you want to present and if you want to support, be in the tribe of people who support the events. It is the same way. Positivity, like if you want to become more positive, be in the base of positive people and leave or rest of the world who are negative stuff, right? Get away from that. Because if until you are in that phase, you cannot see the other side of the world. So find your own tribe, and do not fear to make any change into this world, because again, every single small step that you are ma- making, you are changing a bit part of this world, right, in the positive way. So small step, big step doesn't matter. You are making the change already. So if you are getting scared, you are that meaning like you are on the right path, because anytime you are getting out of that comfort zone, um, it is not that easy. It is very, very uncomfortable, actually, very uneasy to come out of that safe space, right? But if you are getting scared, know that you are on the right path. And to every woman, I would like to share a very, very sincere advice here, because I was so pissed off by a couple of things that I have seen in not only in the community but also in the world, right? Um, I don't know about men because I'm a woman, right? I can only speak from a women perspective. This can also happen to men, maybe. I don't know. But women needs to be there for the other women in their lives who think they are a very big deal. Because like sometimes like women get threatened by looking at the other women getting succeeded. It is so unfortunate. I mean, like, I do not know about men. It can happen with men as well. But sometimes women get so super scared and like they they don't want to support other women. But what I am saying it here on the International Women's Day, if you are succeeding and also helping other women, you are taking it a step further. You are growing, right, along with that women. You are giving a hand to that other women or man. If you are supporting through mentorship or anything, you are just helping them out. You are not helping other women doesn't mean that you are going down. This is a very big world. 50% of the people are women and 50% people are men. Gender stereotypes, put it aside. If you are helping any other person, you are only growing. So please, I have seen people, I have seen women getting threatened by seeing other women grow, or they do not want to share the information. Um, I really do not suggest that. So it can be the conditioning that has been happened through the cultures or through the way they grew up, but through all the struggles. But hey, we are in the safest space, right? We just have one earth, and we just have one earth. We just have only a couple of years to live. Now, how about we support other person and we build upon that, right? By looking at the other people grow, it is a beautiful thing. I love putting this out there. I thought a lot putting this slide here to share this, but I thought like no matter what, I want to share this. So please, there is no competition, no backhanded comments, no jealousy, no hate. Just I love you, I support you, and there is no one on earth like you kind of energy is what everybody needed, not only women, men also, right? Because that's how we we make an impact to this world. So I would like to thank you for attending this session, and also I would like to take this as an opportunity to thank all my mentors who gave me a sincere feedback. I only saw my parents in you, um, because like my parents also are hard on me a couple of times since my childhood, right? But then I only saw your parents in them because like they always wanted to see only good things about you, right? So they are actually helping you with that sincere feedback. And family don't have to be a blood relation, but you all proved it. Like not only the mentors, like the people who are listening, the organizers who actually organized um, this conference today, there is no need to have a blood relationship with all of you. We are already family members because our intentions and um, our intentions are same to help other people. What's more beautiful than that, right? Blood relation also do the same thing, right? To help other person from the family. But here we extended that to this entire world. So we are a family in that sense, right? And I will also like to thank all the organizers and the audience, not only f- from this conference, but also each one of them who actually supported. So here's to the women breaking down barriers, to the women lifting each other up, to the women paving the way for our future, to the women who never give up, to the women who are our biggest supporters, to the women making a change. You are smart, you are strong, resilient, beautiful, and powerful. You matter. Yes, you do really matter. You are loved, and here's to you. Cheers to you. Thank you, one and all, for attending this session. And I would like to thank you from bottom of my heart. The only suggestion that I can give to each one of you is please be an ally. Support each other because by supporting another person, men or women or any other gender in that matter, you are only making this world better, and you will become more better than the way you were a day before. So thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be able to share this a beautiful story with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepti. It's Aro here, and I you touch my heart. I think you touched the heart of many people here, and vulnerability and the story. I think everyone is with you. We support you, and we are so happy that for the starting of the session, you gave such an impressive and a powerful message that to just grow up and then help, right? So really appreciate. I know that there's some goof up happened the timing, but I know that you want to share this thing, and I really appreciate that is a odd time you're presenting. But I think the message you're sending to the audience, I think this video will be actually into YouTube as well. I think more people
Awesome.
will see the video, right? So thank you so much. I really appreciate and thank Abhinav or anyone, Rajendra, any inputs you want to give to this speech? I think so powerful and so amazing thing you've shared. I think technical is technical, but this important messages which you give to the woman, even for male, I think is also
Mhm.
important. Abhinav, any inputs, anything you want to add on, or
So,
Rajendra?
Aro, very, very well covered, and thank you so much for sharing these thoughts. Mean a lot. I think the story inspires a lot of us around, and will continue to inspire others. So, thank you so much for delivering this strong message. And I could not have imagined a better opening
Or
session
this,
for the
yeah,
platform.
I totally with you. I mean, having this kind of the first session itself actually empowers all other speakers to, I mean, like how they can grow and how they can. They're anyways doing community events and other things, but I think the message about to be vulnerable is such an important thing in life as well. That being vulnerable is good. I love the message. Thank you, Deepti. Really appreciate.
Thank you so much. Really, it means a lot. I mean, you made
Yeah.
my day.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. I think it's a good time to sleep. I think it's already midnight, more than midnight. I take
Yeah,
a,
it's.
I think we give you take a time for the sleep now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. in the morning, so I would
Yeah,
like to.
yeah, yeah.
Do anybody have any questions? I don't mind
Yes.
in.
Anyone have questions? I think Prashant, Shubham. If you have a question, you can just I can unmute your mic and then you can ask me questions if you have. If no question, this is okay. Okay, yeah. So I think there's no question. Oh, yeah. Shruti was next speaker. Yeah, Shruti, have any question for Deepti?
No, I don't have any question, but I was just impressed by Dipti. I thought maybe she has spent quite a good this session, and she has opened up like really well. At times, we everyone have that fear of putting such things on slides, but she just nailed it. Thank you so much, Dipti, for taking this up, and really appreciate you bringing this topic. Uh, I echo the words which RONT mentioned that this can be the best opening which we have.
Yeah,
Happy
Thank you
Women's
yeah.
Day
so
to you.
much.
Thank you. Happy
Happy
Women's Day. Yeah.
International Women's Day. Thank you so
Okay.
much. It means a lot, actually. You
Yeah.
brought
Yeah.
some tears into my eyes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would
But
just
yeah.
like to add, Aru, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Deepthi. Thanks for sharing complete experience, what you have faced. And I know the time is different, and thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. You guys made my day.